right. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's day? I'm about ready to paint the image of Space Shuttle Hubble. I'm going to, of course, use up all my poster board because I kind of miss doing my space things, doing all these butterflies and stuff. So, I'm just going to stick this over here for now. And I stepped up my game a little tiny bit, just a little. Look at it. I got me a briefcase so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. This is a really pretty image. It really truly is. And I think I'm gonna I'm gonna sponge paint this with dark first. And I have my tarot cards if you guys want a reading. I do tell the truth. I don't candy coat things. So, I'm just letting you know now. Alright, instead of just putting all this here, I'm thinking about getting my black pastels out, and because I really want to get this nebula image down pat nice. So I'm going to use my black pastel, and I'm still going to use the paint, but I feel this would be pretty, like, because in this nebula there's very few stars. So, and it's a thing, it's the butterfly nebula. So why not? I figured I might as well. But yeah, I've had a pretty good... I'm going to do this in a circular motion for my background. Because all this back here... I want this density of darkness back here. And I'm going to start with the nebula. I love space. I think it's my favorite thing to draw. In paint. Out of everything. But how you guys been? I get busy and I have regulars over on YouTube. I really do. So sometimes I have to be over on YouTube for certain times because I guess I gotten popular enough to where I have regulars. And I had 3 viral videos over there. So I'm kind of excited about that because I never thought that would happen in my life. But I'm rotating this around in a circle here. Just with my fingers rubbing in all this here. And I'm so glad for the donation of the suitcase, of the painter's suitcase. It's beautiful and wonderful. And I have my soft pastel kit, and I'm still going to use my paints to touch up everything. But I kind of don't want the paint on right now, because I will tell you, if you don't have all your details down, and you're trying to execute a space or a drawing or anything, it turns out like crap, honestly, without the good details. And the best details are with pastels for me. Especially if you're more of a sketch artist than anything. I mean, you could do paintings, but you sometimes have to do a different style of them. Alright. Get this one. Because it's all dark. and it makes sense. You gotta go with sometimes what makes sense. I'm gonna get the soft pastels out to start my nebula. I like these because I feel like they have more precision, and these are basic soft pastels. They're a little pricier than these ones, but they are really worth it. And I got a whole bunch of these. And it wasn't really overly expensive. Oh, hello. And hello. You guys are wonderful over here. You really are. And I've been wanting to come over here, but I get messages from over on YouTube all the time. And they want to know what happened to me sometimes. Sometimes they do. Alright, there's a lot of light blue, but I'm going to try to get this the lightest of blue because this nebula image has a lot of blue and it literally looks like a butterfly. It's really pretty. This is why it piqued my interest. Alright, so now it comes down this nebula here. And this soft pastels work so well with this. They really do. And I want to say, to get space executed, you almost need this. Because once the paint hits the board and one mistake is made, you're SOL. And I'm still going to go ahead and do paint also. I just want to get all these fine details out. Because I need pink, and this is actually the way it looks in space. When you do space drawings, sometimes it looks one way and it's the other, but it honestly is. This is the way Hubble has it, so. And they look really cool. They really do. Alright, and then these kind of flare out, so you want to get these here. And then they come out and flare out small here. Alright, and now, of course, this end here. And it's not too hard to execute these kind of things. You just kind of gotta get a flow with it. But if anybody wants tarot card readings, where the hell did I put those? Oh, they're right here. My tarot cards are here, got no problem. And I just put this on top of this. I don't know if you can see it yet, but I'm getting the pink. This nebula has a lot of pink over here. So, and there's so many details in space, so many. It's insane how many details there are. Kind of want to get these details good. And I'm still going to hit these up with some paint. But I want to know where I'm at because I mess up on it if I don't have the pastels with my paint. I really do. I'm still trying to learn from Painter's Valley on how they do this without any kind of pastels. But I was told, because I think I've said this before, I take care of a lot of residents that are professional artists, and they whisper things in my ear all the time. All the time. And they give me a lot of ideas. And they tell me a lot of times how you don't need paint. But I figure, why not have both? This is kind of, and all of this kind of flares out. So you want to do straight lines here, and then it flares out here too with this nebula thing here. And these soft pastels are really doing a great job. But the paint will really kind of help it come alive. And then it hooks over this way. Kind of got to get all the little layers here. And then I got my pinks in there. It'll get way more pronounced when I get the paint involved. And I'll know where I'm going a little bit with it. And then I don't have to blot all through space and have this all really wet with paint. Because it's not how much paint you use, it's the quality and what you're doing. You don't want to take away the integrity of your artwork with different things. A little bit of paint sometimes is all you need. I have learned that. And it'll save you money. Because who doesn't want to save some money? And it's absolutely true. We should all try to save as much as we can. Because you never know what you want to buy. You really don't. You never know what you're going to need to buy. They say, too, and that, because we know a real estate person, that now is not the time to buy a house. So if you are renting, they say to keep renting. They absolutely do call for this, the real estate agents. I figure I passed that on, and there's a little bit of yellow under here. Alright. Here we go. Alright, I got this. I don't know if you can see it right here. But I'm going to start bringing the paint over because the paint is where everything starts coming out. And this is kind of where you want it to be. And we're going to take some white paint and go from there. Alright, I don't really even know how to invite people. I don't. I am pretty much, I want to say new here, and hello to you, Hillary. I am new over here, and I got a whole box of these, so I'm going to look for some pink paint. I'm going to start with pink first. I feel pink would be better to start with. And I put a bunch of this over, okay. And I brought a bunch of it in a box, because getting your stuff organized sometimes is, I guess, the worst. Here's peony pink. We'll go with peony pink. Peony pink is nice. And if you have something like this, I just dip my brush in it. Why make your life more complicated than it needs to be? That's where I'm at. And this one could get washed again. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this one. All the water too. Oh, hello. This is why I buy a shit ton of paintbrushes. Yeah, this needs to be softened up. Make sure your brushes are soft. Sometimes I put them in there and they're not soft enough. So I put them through in the second wash. Sometimes there needs to be a second wash. And I will say that. I don't know what happened with all these. Maybe I forgot to wash these after a live stream. I think I did. It's okay. I only have 50. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I probably use them in a live stream, but I have a bunch of other ones. So we're going to stick these in here. And I just put it right in here. Stick it right in there. Then we're going to just start stroking the lines that you have. And a lot of times when you do this, it blends in with pastel. And then once this dries a little, alright, where's my butterfly? There it is. Alright. You could actually take more paint on top of it later, or the pastels you can put on top of the paint. That you can do. And I'm gonna fix this cluster because there's like a bunch down here. And this is what you kind of gotta do, finding out, just doing these fine details. And it's real fun to do this, it really is. I have a blast. And then the next time you go over this area with your pastels, there it's really gonna pop out. And I was thinking about going to Paint Valley, but then I go to work and all the superstars I work with at work are there giving me advice. So, who needs the Painting Valley when you have that? Alright, all where I had pink, I'm putting the pink paint. Because this is what we want. You want, when you click, and it's easy to create clusters in space. You don't have to be the best sketch artist to do it either. And I just look on Google where they have Hubble images of space. And I just look on there, honestly. And you just look at, and I mean, it's to the public. Anybody can look at these, literally. And it's not a copyright because as citizens or of any country, you're allowed to look at these and paint whatever you want of these. Alright, we got pink here. Now there's a lot of blue. And I know I have blue acrylic paint in here, so go look see what I got. Here, I got this enamels made. Take some right off the top. And if you can, try to reuse your brush. And there's a lot of this over here. Alright, right in this wing here. Tips there. And in this wing, there's more. I want to get all this good stuff in here. Because this nebula is against dark, is literally up against the dark. So, and curve your lines just like you would anything else. I did change the color a little bit. It was light blue, but I figured this blue would be better. Because it's my depiction of the nebula, the butterfly nebula. And I'm very interested in the space Hubble because we live in an age where we can just go look at space, get all these wonderful pictures, and figure out the world around us, which there was a time where we couldn't. In the space, and I remember it. A lot of times you were called crazy if you thought there was life on other planets when I was younger. And this is the God honest truth. And I always thought there was other life forms out there. And if you said that there was aliens or something, oh my God, you were known as the kook. And they used to say Area 51 didn't exist when I was growing up, and everyone that knew they existed were just called crazy. But sometimes the crazy people are the ones that know the most. Because they've been saying this stuff for years, and I do mean years. And here we now, we're at the renaissance of scientific advancements, and there we go. Everything's true, what they said. Just a little food for thought for you guys. When you're all in your normal routines and everything, don't take for granted the blessings in this century that we have been given. Because I know that other cultures, like the Egyptians and all that, would love to be around to see what we are seeing. They would love it. It would be like it would like be the best time ever for them. And this is true facts. So, and I'm enjoying it. See, we're doing good now. This is all you do, kind of just play around in here. Like I said, just stick it right up in there. My friend gave me this. She used to do arts and crafts, but she doesn't do them that much no more. Now she was a policeman for 20 years. And now she's going to school to be a nurse. But she does help me. And she's a great person. And I guess that's all that matters. Is that you're a good person. Okay, this I'm going to put in here. That's the end of that brush. Grab this because I need a yellow for the bottom of this butterfly nebula. This butterfly nebula is really gorgeous. I'm trying to find a yellow now. Alright, I just have this humongous yellow. I'll just go with this. I figure I just use what I have. And like I said, these are not hard to do. And you see I just started with my pastels to get the background good. Because you don't want to overload it with paint on a space drawing. Do not. It's not good. Not at all. You want to get that good like that. Tips. And this is the only place that's yellow. I don't know, I have an affliction with space. Probably a little bit too much. I'm going to bring the yellow tip down here. Just balance it out. My nebula image will just be a little tiny bit different. That's okay. Put that back in the water because I'll have to wash it when I'm downloading this live stream. Alright. Now I need another pink. And I'm going to start stenciling and get this so far. I hope you guys can see it. See if we got this through the nebula so far. And it doesn't take long to do these things. It really doesn't. Not at all. Okay, and this one, there's a lot of different hot pinks. Or the pale pink, I mean. So I'm going to look, see what I got. Okay, I got this. I got Craft Smart. It's a pink. And I'm going to start blotting this in. Take this one. Because I do miss painting. Oh my god, do I miss painting. I was practicing for the longest time, but yeah, I miss my painting. Alright. Now I'm just going to blot in clusters. Alright, right in here there's a nice little block. And we gotta put here. Gotta kind of show where these clusters are. And right in here, gotta get that blocked in here. Because space is not perfect, folks. It's not. Not at all. It's just, I mean, it's fun to do, too. Oh my god, I love doing space things. I think they're so much fun. And we're just going to blog it. You're just blogging it there. Just plop it and drop it. That's what we're doing. Because that's the cluster in the butterfly nebula. And here's another cluster. Because space is beautiful. It kind of shows us that we're not alone in the world, and I like to think that space shows us that there is a God. Because the more I look at space images, the more that it comes to me that this is God's creation. It absolutely is, because why wouldn't it be? And they're so gorgeous, all these different nebulas. And out of everything, they're the most gorgeous to paint. Because it really is God's creation. And you see God's creation of other worlds right here. And it's nice. It's nice to see that there's evidence of that. I mean, that's why I say that we're so lucky to be able to see these things from a telescope. Alright, we're going to blog around here. And these are just the clusters around it. And you just kind of work it. You work it like you would a sketch work it. And we kind of laid the groundwork so we know where to do our blotting. Because space, there's no prominent sketch. It just kind of sometimes resembles something that we know, and then sometimes it doesn't. This one just, from Nebula, kind of just looks like a butterfly. How long it looked like a butterfly for? I don't know. Everything in space changes rapidly. And I do mean that rapid change. There's always a rapid change in space, all the time. I don't know why, but it is. That's the beauty of everything. I got that cluster down. And then down here, there's a little cluster. Got to get this too. And we're just literally taking the brush and pressing down. That's it. I think the space is easier to sketch out than anything, like I said. So if you're a beginner painter out there, maybe try doing this. And I love it. Like I said, but I have an affiliation with space. I tend to like space things. Probably because when I was younger, I was a science major, and I was always told there's not life on other planets. So I kind of had an obsession about this, and I studied it more and more when I was younger. So this would probably be the reason why I'm so obsessed with space. Right. We're just going to do a little antenna there. I don't know, it does look like a cool butterfly. Alright, I got all that. Alright, now I'm going to get the yellow, and then I'll show you where I'm at now. Got this so far. Now I'm gonna get this yellow and blot that. But this is how easy art can be. You just gotta take the time to kind of learn stuff with it. You take the time to learn, and in the background, I have been, I think before where I failed, I have to, before I was not, I wasn't using my pastels for the background. But I am now. And like I said, once the paint hits, you just see the vastness of space right there how you want it. Because in this sector of space, it's dark. Alright, and this kind of cascades over in this nebula, so we're going to scribble like that, smooth out this side, and then blot around here. Just do a nice little blot. Blot this out. There we And I know this isn't in the nebula, but I'm going to blot this a little bit. I'm just going to put a little yellow up here. Kind of looks like modern art. You can have a depiction of modern art with space, and it's really, and these nebula images are really great to start with. Oh my god, are they great. Pretty wonderful. Alright, there you go. You got that so far. Put that in the water. You could go through in one session. I go through sometimes 20 brushes, but that's okay. You wash them. You wash it and it's over with. Now, I'm going to put, there's a couple stars, but not a lot. I think I got a white right here. Here, this is white enough. And we got this so far, folks. I'm just going to put some stars to signify that this is space. And this is, and then I try to get a really skinny brush, like something that's soft that's gonna come down really good. And for a star, I'm gonna just make these a little bright, just a little bright. Just gonna put it here. You're just taking this and dropping it. Take a couple out here, drop it. Just to show that there's stars out here in space. That's what we're going to do. That's it. Because I like to think that there's some stars in this nebula because there has to be other life forms out there. And maybe the nebula missed a couple. In my mind's eye, the nebula missed a couple stars. You know, maybe this could be a nice little multi-universe. Which I do believe in multi-universes, folks. I do. I absolutely believe in them. So, and I am one of those crazy people that believed in Area 51, which was confirmed to be real. And I'm excited to be on social media in such a time where acceptance of people that think like me are accepted. I mean, back then when I grew up, people like me were not accepted, and that was true facts, my friends, true facts. But we're done. There's really not much more we could do here. And it looks cool. And if people don't really think it's space, you just tell them it's modern art. And here's the butterfly nebula from the Hubble images. And that's all you gotta do. It is really nice for that, but yeah. I try to show you the most simplistic way to do things. Simplicity has a life of its own, and I believe simple things are the best to try to get better at. Because if you get real good at the simple things and you keep things real simple, you stay engaged and humble. Staying humble is an important thing in the world. You don't need to be going around and thinking you're better than anybody else in this world. And these are true facts. And I say this with a whole heart because that's how I feel. I feel some people forget this. And I don't. I don't forget none of it because I've went through some hard times. And now I'm living my best life at going on 51. April 16th, my friends. My birthday's coming up. I figure I got a decent YouTube channel going. I mean, for being my age and having a decent and having 3 viral videos, I think it's a pretty good thing that I did all that. And I'm going to keep it going as long as I can and try to inspire other people. And I haven't had time to do my photography today, but I'm going to try to get that done today too. I like when I'm on my dog walks. That's when I execute a lot of that stuff. I do. I be on my dog walks and I go, ooh, I like that tree. Or, ooh, I like that. Then the next thing I know, I got all these pictures. And I like to show the trees when they're coming into season. I love nature. Nature's like, it's my favorite thing. I want to say that nature and nature stuff is my favorite. So I'm going to reset my computer and I'm going to get off here. I know you guys are everybody used to staying on for hours, but I do got to go and get a couple things done, and I wanted to say, make sure that you guys know that I didn't forget about no one. Because I totally did not forget about anybody. I just been working and busy. So, and I hope everyone is having a great day, and I'll try to run back here and do more space images because I do want to get more space paintings done today. I'm kind of getting burnout from Disney. But I wanted to thank you guys for all the profile views, all of the hearts. I feel blessed because you guys are awesome. You really are. You guys are just pure awesomeness. So I just want to let you know that, and I'm going to try to come back and maybe do another Hubble image over here because I do enjoy my painting, even though I'm not the best painter in the world, but I try. And I'm trying to perfect space art. We'll see how well this goes. You never know. And you guys have a great day. And I'll be having things going on in my profile.